So I wanted to create some backlit art that could be powered from the 9-volt output on the back of the stereo. And I was thinking this would be a good place to put it. So I started with the basic idea of a tree with a horse and scaled it to fit in this space. First I'll mill some wood to about a 1/4 inch thick. Then I can put the pattern on. And cut it out on the bandsaw. So I was thinking if I do a cutout in the middle of the horse and then have lights there and then put a front plate to block the light but offset it a little bit so that the light comes out from behind that front plate and spills out onto the front surface of the horse or the tree limb or whatever. Might look kind of cool, so that's what I'm trying to do here is create the parts for that. And a little bit of sanding. So here I'm just taking the sharp corner off the opening to hopefully let the light out a little better. This will be the base that everything gets built up from. It's 1/8 inch plywood. So here I have a blade in the jigsaw that cuts in all directions. This is good for cutouts that don't have to be super accurate. And then just clean up the edges a bit. This will be the main trunk of the tree, and it's made from 1/2 inch material. Here I'm attaching the 1/2 inch pieces with little standoffs from the base to create a space in there for the lights. The heat gun softens the glue on the spray adhesive and makes it easier for the paper to get pulled off. And a bit of power carving to soften the edges and clean up the joints. This will be the first branch cluster, and it's made the same way as the horse, with the cutout and a little front plate. Here I'm marking where to put the glue. And these are the standoffs for the front plate. And here I'm just doing the final shaping and texturing of the tree limbs. And a bit of sanding. And putting some texturing on the front faces. I wanted to keep the wood natural color as much as I could, so I just used this clear coat. So on the back of the stereo, the output is 9 volts AC. So I have to use this power regulator converter to convert it to 9 volts DC. And then the smaller circuit board there is called a buck boost converter, and it converts the 9 volts to 12 volts, which is what the LEDs need. Here I'm setting my benchtop power supply to 9 volts to simulate what the power will be that these electronics are getting from the back of the stereo. First I'll connect the power to the power converter, and then connect the buck boost converter to the output of the power converter. So the first thing to do is adjust the power level that comes out of the power converter. And the device uses a little bit of power itself, so you don't get quite as much as the 9 volts. Next is to adjust the buck boost converter to put out 12 volts. Now that we have our power supplied and regulated, it's time to install all the lights. Yep, I think that's going to work. Time to get it installed. And hook up the power. And plug it in. Let's see if it works. That was a fun project. See you on the next one.